So today we shall analyze on how to prepare a smart and a concise resume that could catch the attention of the recruiters in data science or data analytics or machine learning. So actually, resume is a British usage, but American way of pronouncing resume is we say it as resume. So being here for the resume preparations, you should be aware about the difference of its pronunciation. So actually, one of the most heard grievances from a job seeker is that they are applying for a quite number of openings, but they are not getting a call. So actually, it is just like water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Actually, here we will try to find out some tips and tricks so that will make your resume stand out, so that you can get a call. And when we speak of a resume, actually the resume is one of the most important document that a job seeker ever prepares in connection with their job hunt. So actually it is because it is the first lead that goes to the employer. So obviously we often say that the first impression is the best impression. So we have to make our first impression the best. And I think a well-drafted and formulated resume will be half done for getting a call from your dream jobs. So let us first check out what are the takeaways from this section on resume preparation. Obviously, as I've said that, on completion of this section, you will be capable of preparing a rich and concise and crispy resume for data analytics and machine learning based jobs. So I think it is always better to start the segment with some quotes or some inspirational quotes. To succeed in today's job market, you have to think of your resume as an advertisement targeted towards your future boss. So definitely in a job market, actually what you are doing is that you are marketing your skills and potentials so that the recruiter will aptly find the whatever they want to fit their positions. So actually a resume, building a resume is like preparing an ad. You are preparing an ad about your skill sets. And do you think of a situation where an ad which is so congested and not relevant, it will not catch the attention, your own attention. If you're looking out some product like that, the most catching ad will be simple, precise, and it should reveal what you are looking for. The same is that with that of a resume. So actually, the study says that when a recruiter posts their requirement through these job portals, they'll be giving some job descriptions like that. So we could find that a number of resumes flows into their inboxes. So definitely, if the company is a high-profile company, there will be thousands and thousands of resume comes for positions. So actually, it is said that a employer or a recruiter spends hardly about 6 to 8 seconds in a resume. You can just think how short span that a recruiter skips through or skims through the resume. Actually, the first process in the recruiting process is skimming the resume. That is just going through the resume in a fast pace of this 6 to 8 seconds. So within these seconds, within this skimming process, your resume should stand out that it passes that filter and goes to the next step. So a well-prepared resume should drill into the employer's job requirement and that should be presented in a visible and noticed format. So that is something you have to be cautious about preparing a resume. So now, when you're sitting down to prepare a resume for your dream job, definitely you will be locked with a number of confusions. So you can just read out. These are some of the factors that pokes you in preparing a resume. That is how to write. How to write a resume. What should be included? What all things, what all skill sets should be showcased in my resume? As I've told you earlier that you should not populate your resume with a very heavy stuff, which is a very heavy stuff, which cannot be even lifted by the employer. So make it very simple, concise, and crispy, just like just beautiful like an ad. So what to include in the resume and what to leave out in the resume. So that will be something confusing when you are preparing the resume, especially for the first few times. Then another important thing is that you have to make your resume very interesting. So what are the facts and facets that make your resume more interesting and engaging? You'll be confused. But how to make it more engaging and interesting to the employers or for the these recruiters? Or how to showcase your talents? You'll be having a lot of talents. So what are the talents which is be appropriate for such and such position? That is something very important. So suppose if the recruiter is looking for some sets of talent, there is no use of showcasing a set of talents which do not match the requirement. So that is something very important. And how to update your resume to fit each jobs. So that itself is very relevant. You cannot have a solid resume prepared and post it for all the job requirements. The ideal thing is that each job, each requirement, unique resume that fit, that is the ideal situation. That is the ideal thing that is most important. So definitely good resume should be able to fit into the job requirements of the recruiters. So what is ideal is that you have to update your resume and streamline it according to the requirements of these employers. So that is something very important from your part. That's why in the introductory note that I have told that water everywhere, but not a drop to drink, because there are a lot of openings which has been available, but you are putting your resume and you are not getting a call because your resume is not streamlined according to the job requirements, or it may be overloaded with a lot of potentials which is irrelevant. So it won't stand out. As I told that there are a number of these resumes are flowing into for a job posting. So you have to stand out. So now what I've said that, what are the takeaways in this segment? What are the takeaways? So I'm just putting it in 3 words. This is what you're going to take away with respect to resume. That is how to write a resume. How? That is, you'll be finding answer to this how. And where? Where means where to put your talents, attainments, all these things, where to put it, how to group it, and what to write. So we are just trying to give some answers to this question, how to develop a resume. That is what to write or what to be included into the resume and where to cluster your talents in a resume. These are the things that we are going to look into in this resume preparation segment. So these will be your takeaways from this segment. Internationally or nationally, there is no set or prescribed format for writing a resume. So what we are going to present in this segment is that what are the good practices that could be adopted in making your resume stand out. So there is no specific standards or international specifications on writing an resume in whatever job profiles that you are going to post, unless and otherwise they give a template for filling up. If they're giving you a template to fill up, okay, you should fill up the template. But if they're inviting an open-end resume, there is no prescribed format for writing a resume. So in the segment, what we are going to say is What are the good practices that you can adopt for making your resume so attractive, concise, crispy, and so beautiful like an advertisement. So going into some smart tips to make your resume stand out, these are something that should be in your mind while writing your resume. The first thing is that your resume should focus on relevant informations only. So there is no need to write the entire life history from your 0 age to whatever age that you are there. You should not bring a big load into your resume. Only the relevant information has to be showcased there. Then another important thing is that your accomplishments should be listed in facts and figures. That's something very important. So if you're writing that you have a skill in some area, to what extent that you value that you have that skill, that metric part, the facts and figures has to be highlighted. Or if you're speaking about some experience, I have some experience in such and such thing. So what is the result that you have been able to scale by your performance? That has to be highlighted. So facts and figures. So resume should not be vague statement. Everything should be crisp to the point. Then use keywords for your with the proper research. This is something very, very important. The keywords means when you go through the job descriptions, there will be some words which has been highlighted. Sometimes they have been looking for some persons in some technology. So these technologies are the keywords that you have to accommodate into your resume. Or if they have been focusing on some skill sets which they are looking for, that has to be accommodated into your this resume. So in preparing a good resume, you have to do a little research. That's why I told that for every job openings, there should be an unique resume. Then only that will exactly fit into. You cannot a general resume will not stand out than that of a unique resume. So some these researches regarding the requirements is important. Then use appropriate headers. That is something. You should not populate your resume with heavy stuff, which make a lot of confusions. So everything should be very neatly documented with specific these headers. So that is something very important. When they are skimming through your resume, their eyes should get locked into those specific aspects which they are looking for, and that they will be reading only through the headers. And if they are relevant, they will be detailing into what you have presented. So that is something very important. And make it easy to read. That is something that is you should not stuff it with a lot of information. It should be easily readable, and most important thing is that it should be free from spelling errors. That is something very important. And in our trendy resumes, your engagements in social media is important. So it will be always better, especially when you're looking for in a position for these IT sectors. How good you are in the social media platforms. That should be your LinkedIn profiles. All these things should be highlighted there. And in a very simple term, what I have to say, an overall look of the resume should be simple and brief. And one more thing which I would like to add is that be honest in your resume, because if you are filtered into the next level of a job interview, then definitely your resume is the guiding it will be the torchbearer of the interview. The resume will be guiding the entire these conversations which is there with the interviewer. So you have to be honest. You should not adult your the resume with those skill sets or things which you are not really capable of doing. So this is the 5-part framework for a concise resume. As I've told that there is no standard format, but this is a 5 part framework for a concise resume will be to you are just grouping or classifying the content of the resume in 5 segments. So it is always better to present the resume in well classified format, and this will be a better format for classifying, and I think you could go through that. This is the 5-part framework for a concise resume. That is, the first one is that frame one, the first frame for the resume is that you should include your personal details there. That's important. The second part is you have to the second part or the second frame of the resume is that your experiences should be presented in a very structured manner. Very structured manner, I repeat, because what is the structured manner in the subsequent slides, we'll be discussing about that. And another important thing is that your educational qualifications and your knowledge about the things, what you have collected. So that is something you can highlight specifically in a category. So categorization of resume is important. And the fourth one is the skill and certifications. That is something very important for an IT professionals, because the number of certifications will add weightage to these that is for getting selected. So the skills and certifications should be highlighted. And finally, you can add some additional informations like some awards. We'll be discussing on these. So this is a 5-part framework which makes your resume well organized. That is, organizing your resume into this 5-part framework will make it very concise and attractive for the recruiters. So now let us go into one by one specifically. So as the first stage, I will just show how these 5-part frameworks, these 5 segments should be showcased in a resume. And then we will be going into detail, drill into detail into these frames, and and we will try to analyze how we are be able to present it in the desired format. So this is the first part, the personal detail frame. And this is a template, a common template that we suggest for writing a professional resume, especially in this data science related domain. So here we have got 5-part framework, and this is the first framework, that is the personal detail frame. The personal detail frame is that part which comes in the top. That part which comes in the top. And obviously you'll be wondering what are things that you should include. That is, your name and contact info should be there. And if you are an experienced person, you are looking for another a little more higher job profiles, then obviously you are there in a job role, so you can mention the job role, the professional job title. That is, if you're a software engineer, or if you're a machine learning engineer, or if you're a data analyst, you can mention it if you are an experienced person. For a fresher, you are not been already recruited for any placement, so you can skip that. Here in this resume, we have not written there. So the job title is not written. If you are a data analyst, below this such and such, you can write that. We will be detailing on the further slides. Then key skills should be highlighted, and the professional summary should be presented. No worries. We will be going into detail one by one, and I'll be explaining on how you can write this explicitly, and I will be giving some keywords how to write it. So don't worry. I am going to this number of slides which we are going is just to showcase on where you should fix these frames. So the first frame, you are including that frame in the top part of your resume, that is the personal data frame. So the second is the experience detail frame, your experience detail. So the experience detail should be presented just below your personal data frame, personal data. So that will showcase the experiences, the different experiences that you have. So don't worry about this. We'll be detailing about these frames one by one specifically, and we'll be detailing what to write and how to write these things. So just focusing on where these frames has to be arranged. So first part, second part, we are arranging here. That is the experience detail frame. And what all things that you have to include is your accomplished works, your keyword. That means the accomplished works which are keyword relevant. That means, what is this keyword relevant means? That is what we have suggested before, that before preparing a resume, you have to make a clear-cut research on what is the job requirements and what are the keywords which is there posted in the job requirement. That has to be highlighted while you're writing the resume. Then titles with objectives, algorithms, framework, all these things could be included. We'll be going into detail in the other segment. Now, the third frame is that educational detail frame. In the educational detail frame, you will be just showcasing on the institutions, the educational institutions that you have gone through, as well as your academic project details that will be showcased here in this segment. So that is the educational detail framework. So that will be presented below this. And the fourth frame, that is the skill and certification frames, will be presented here, the skill and certification frames. So here we are presenting the professional skills at the top, as well as the number of certifications relevant to the job requirement will be presented here. So both skill and certifications will be presented here. And finally, the fifth frame of our resume, that is the additional information frames, will be presented at the bottom location. So this is how you can partition your resume into five frames. So these are the areas where you could lodge your information regarding your personal first frame, second experience, third educational, fourth your skills and certifications, and fifth the additional informations that you would like to include. So now, don't worry, we will be going into details about each frame specifically in the consequent slides. So before going into that, some desirable specifications of a concise resume is listed here. So while you are writing the resume, it will be always better to present your resume in a single sheet. And if you have got more thing to add, and if it is unavoidable, you can add more pages. So it will be better to present, because in the current trendy manner, in the present trendy manner, it is always best to put your entire skill sets and of this resume in a single page. So if you want to make it fit into the single page, you should take care of all these things which is listed here. That is, the font size should be between 9 to 12. So obviously the font sizes, if you're going above this, then it will be very difficult to fit the entire informations and into your one page. The second is that avoid fancy fonts. So you will be familiar with the different fonts which has been available. So you can avoid the fancy fonts or handwriting fonts, that is running letter fonts, or comic scan fonts, or some decorative fonts. It should not be used for writing resume. The resume should be presented in some classical fonts like Times Romans, a lot according to your taste, but it should not be a fancy one. The third one is to use headlines for the sections, which we have already mentioned. So the resume should be presented in the form of the different content should be presented under the subheadings. As I've told that when the employees keep on skimming the resume, then they'll be first locating on the headings and subheadings, and only the relevant part they'll be digging deeper if they need. Then use of proper margin and spacing. That is something very important. That is, it should be very clean, and it should not be congested, and it should not be a mess-like pattern. So everything has to be very cleanly arranged with the proper margins and spacings. And optimum number of page is 1. That's what I mentioned earlier. That is, you should not write many pages for a resume. Because if you have got that much of things to be added, okay, you can go for an additional page, but it is always your skill to put your these that is your talents as well as your experiences, your skill sets, certifications into one page. And use bullet points and capitalization. That is something very important. So that will make the resume very distinct. So now, for looking into the template, there are a number of online templates which will be available online. That is one this most popular this platform for preparation of this content, like presentation posters, Instagram post, logos, resume, all these things. One of the most popularly used platform. This website is Canva. I think that you will be familiar with this. The Canva, if you just search this Canva regarding the resume, there will be about thousands of templates which will be available. So you can look into these templates and find out which template is ideal to fit your 5-part framework. So that is something very important. The 5-part framework is you are just classifying your stuff into 5 components. So the Canva is a very good portal for finding these social media activities there. You can make a lot of these posters, presentations, and also for resume. And if you are not familiar with this, you can use your Word. You can write, customize your this Microsoft Word, and then save it in a PDF. Or even in Word also, there will be some standard templates for writing the resume. So it depends upon your choice. So which platform that you are comfortable and which designs you will be looking. So you can just make a search on some free templates. There are a lot of other sites we are getting free templates for resumes. So you can make a check about this. If you are not familiar with this Canva, you can make a note of it and you can just try with Canva. It's a very good tool. A lot of digital marketing professionals are using this Canva for making very attractive presentations and posters and resumes and all. So now, as I've told that, there is no worries about these 5 frames. We will be going into detail into each line of the resume, and we will be discussing on how to write it. So the first thing is, as I told that, we are now where? In the personal data frame. How to arrange your these informations in the personal data frame. I think this is a good style of writing. As I've told that, you can have different styles, but this is only a best practice of how to present it. So the first thing in this personal data frame is that you have to present, you have to write your name in bold letters, and that too in a big size. So that should stand out. Your name should stand out. And if you are already an employer, if you're already an employee, if you have got an experience, then below your name, you can write the designation. Suppose if you are working in as a data analyst for about 2 or 3 years, then you can write your name. This is a template which I've taken from Canva. You can search there, you can find the same template. So this is Sachin Saji. Below that, if he's been working for, if he has an experience of 2 years or more, as is working in some this company as a data analyst, he can write below this Sachin Saji. You can write this data analyst there. So that is the name with the designation should be written top very clearly. And below that, you will be just checking out that I have written these 3 key skills under your name. And if you are not, if you are a fresher, you don't have a designation, so you will be writing, because I presume that the group here is a set of freshers, so we'll be capitalizing on the resume of the freshers. That is here, since we don't have a designation to share in the these resume, so we'll be writing on what are the processes that you are, what are the key professional skills that you are competent. Since we are in these data science related jobs, you can list three. Here it is written data science. This is only dummy. Don't think that, don't exactly copy this. I have purposefully included some irregularities into this, because I don't want you to just copy it as such. I want you to think about your skill sets and what are the skill set which has been required in the job posting. So these you should be selecting from the requirement of the employer. That is data science research, data management, and regression. This regression analysis. You can just see these are some of the samples that you can select. That is, you can write it there. You need only three to be written there. You can write data analytics, data profiling, data wrangling, machine learning, deep learning, data warehousing, artificial AI, data management, ETL, extra transport and load. This is a very important process. This is NLP, data mining, big data, data science, computer vision, data preparations. Like this, you can write some key skills that is relevant to the job requirement. And you have to be honest also. Don't write irrelevant as well as those skills that you are not having. So this is something very important. The three professional skills you have to write. So that will make it more attractive when these employees will be looking. They will be finding, oh, this person has been well suiting our requirement. Then below that, you can see there is another three or four skills which has been written. That is motivated, team work oriented, and responsible data analyst. So you can write three or four personal skills like that. For that, you can include any of the three skills. There are a number of skills which is included here. That is, you can write competitive, enthusiastic, open-minded, dedicated, focused, organized, confident, goal-oriented, passionate, creative, innovative, proactive, detail-oriented, motivated, responsible, efficient, multitasking, result-driven, strategic, task-oriented, result-oriented. So there is a number of personal skill samples which could be included there. You can select three or four according to your abilities. These skills should define yourself. So you can define yourself with these three personal skills. And the another thing which has been included here is write your competency that makes you unique and fit for that job. So here that is very important, fit for that job. For that, you cannot prepare the resume in advance without seeing the job requirement. That is what I told, that an unique resume for the job requirement is ideal. So it is better if you are talented, you can just edit your resume and make it fit for that particular job requirement. So here, the ability to identify, analyze, and execute new and potential products, services, markets, and advertising opportunities. So actually, this will be the type of persons that the employer is seeking for. So you are customizing your skill sets into some requirement that they are looking for. Expertise in collecting and analyzing data and turning into information and insight resulting in business decisions. Actually, that is nothing but what the role of a data analyst. That is what the data analyst do. That is, they analyze data, convert it into information, and give it as to the stakeholders to make to add value to the business. That's what the data analysts do. So you are very beautifully writing your skill sets, what you are capable of doing. So this is a brief write-up about your personal skills, professional skills, and what you are capable of doing. Then another important is I have included the photo here, but it is not at all mandatory that you put a photo there. But putting a photo makes it beautiful only. But I could see that a lot of professional resumes are there without photo. So this is optional. So that is not, that is why I'm not giving any spec regarding photo or size. Just put it, if you are interested in putting your photos there, you can put it, and there is not at all compulsory to put your photo, because this is only the first letter or the first communication that go to the employer. So there is no need to give all these things there. And this is compulsory. Your the photo is optional. That is, write your contact information here. That is your email address, your phone number, and also your LinkedIn profile, because obviously in IT professional segment they will be very particular that you are very active in LinkedIn, in your professional groups like that. So LinkedIn profile could be presented here. And in your personal informations, you should not include the details regarding the religion, the gender, the age. All these things are not relevant at all at the resume at the first stage. That will be if you are selected, then the employer will get informations about all these details to give you the gate pass into your job. So that is only at that stage it is relevant. About your family, about all these things are only not relevant at the first phase of this preparation of resume. So this is the personal data frame. So I think this is how you could categorize your personal details into the resume and put it in the top head of your resume. Then the second frame that we were discussing was about the experience data frame. So this is the second one that we are looking about, how to write an experience data frame. So here I have written that experience data frame for an experienced professional. That is a person who is already working in a company and he is looking for a job change there. For that, how to present it? So here in the experience slide, if you are an experienced person, you have to write your current job first. That is the way of arranging. First, you have to put the current job, then mention your previous jobs in reverse chronological order. So if you have been working in 3 or 4 places or industries, you can put it in a chronological order such that the top should be the latest one. And in writing the details about these companies, write the name of the company, your job role, your time period, and which is presented in bullet the formats. In the right side is just a sample of how you can write it. So here the company's name is the Cognizant Technology Consulting Company, Kochi. So you are putting the company's name first. Then second is your job role, that is junior data analyst. And that was your that is the designation of your job in that company. And then the timestamp, that is the time period, that is you have entered into that job role in September 2017 and you are still continuing. And what in bullet points you are just writing what your responsibilities, that is what all thing that you have done there: successfully interpreted data in order to draw conclusions for managerial actions. So this is something very significant. You should try to populate the job responsibility by fitting the keywords, that the employee is looking for. That is something important. So your job roles, wherever possible, you can fit in the keywords or the key skills that the employee is looking for. So here the employees are looking for something, the job role of data interpretation or prediction and forecasting predictions, then solutions. And they'll be maybe looking for Tableau and Power BI. And if these skills are relevant in your previous or the current job roles, then you have to highlight it specifically and it should be presented in this format. So this is the ideal way of writing it. And if you are a fresher, obviously you will not be having that is in that experience column, you will not be having anything to be populated. So when an employer look for a person, he'll be looking how well you'll be able to manage some types of activities. For that, what an employer, especially in this data science as well as in data analytics or machine learning, what they're looking for is that they will be looking on what are projects that you have done. That is something very, very, very important. This project will be replacing the status of the experience, and they'll be asking questions on the project. And this project means that they are able to successfully get involved into some type of task which is relevant to that of experience. So you have to list the projects here. Obviously, this group is obviously from IPSR. Definitely, you will be having training in these segments. That is, you can in that experience data frame, you can list internship on data analysis. In that internship, that is, you can mention the these IPSR Solutions Limited and from which part, which date to which date you can put, just like you are writing your experience. And this is some additional training that you've taken. So this will make your resume very rich, because not only the academics, but you are more interested to update your skills in the current technologies. That is very, very important. Updating the skills according to the industrial requirement, because we know that in between the academics and the industry, there is always a gap. In between this gap should be filled, and this shows your positive attitude for filling the gap between the academics and this industry. So here you can just mention the additional training that you have done. And in the training, that data collection, data integration, data cleaning, visualization, create dashboards, ETL process, predictive algorithms, relationship analysis, exploratory analysis, quite a lot. This is only few that I've listed, because you can just go into the syllabus of IPSR, because it's quite rich and it has been just customized according to the different job openings that has been available in the contemporary scenarios. So you can list the training like this, and most important is the different projects that you undertake here. That is this employee attrition analysis. You are using Tableau, Excel, all these things, because in that job roles, they may be looking for a person who are knowing Excel and Tableau. So that will be integrated here, because these are the skill sets that you already acquired through your projects. So YouTube channel analysis, build a dashboard visualization, data looking at the major topics related to the particular brand, the supply chain analysis, sales data analysis, e-commerce analysis. That makes your resume very rich. That almost equivalent to an experienced person's job, an experienced person's resume. So including project is very, very, very important in a resume. And together with the project, if you are a fresher, if you are looking for a machine learning job, there the same format you can apply. That is what all content that you have learned in machine learning, and also you can some projects in machine learning is showcased here. That is these are the projects which this IPSR has been already given. I've just there's a big list. I've just only taken only 3 of the. That is the hotel recommendation model using hybrid recommendation models. This is the hybrid recommendation model. That is you are integrating different models and building a model. That is something trendy in the present this machine learning scenario. Then filtering political sentiments from social media, from textual analysis. That is using NLP. So here you are showcasing your deep learning skills there and the projects that you've done there. then detecting the phishing emails using machine learning. This is something very important for our security. That is fraud email detection, fraud detections. So this is something based on endpoint security. So this is all are very potential projects which will be highlighted in your resume. So these projects, I've only picked up 3. You can just mention the number of projects. So we are looking for both machine learning as well as data analytics. Before we have just analytics, as well as if you have done both the courses together, you can showcase the projects in machine learning explicitly by mentioning machine learning subtitles there. And if you are an experienced person, you can also mention the achievements that you have made in your job roles. This is for the experienced person only, experienced persons only. I've just included that. That is, it should look, this is the formula for writing that. The action verb plus your accomplishment with metric. This is very important. So what all accomplishment that you have made in your previous job role is very important. So you can just read this. Designed, that is what you have done, designed, executed and optimized marketing campaign on Google AdWords, and which led to 30% increase in ROI. That is the increase in ROI. So that is something very important. You have added what? The action verb. What are the action verb? That is designed, executed, and optimized. What is the accomplishment? Optimize what? The marketing campaign on Google AdWords, and it has led to 30% increase. 30%, the metric. That's very important. That is what I first told. Don't write your resume loosely. You have to be precise, to the point, crispy. You are just showcasing on how much change that you could make. Here, another one. Analyzed data from these things make your resume very significant. 3,000 monthly activity users and used outputs to guide the marketing and product strategies, increased average application engagement time by 2 times, and decreased drop-off rate by 30%. So in this project, what you have done is that you have, this is the monthly, the analyzed from 30,000 monthly active users. That is monthly 30,000 active users. You have analyzed their transactions, and you are successful in making 2 times the engagement and dropout rates by 30%. Likewise, managed redeveloped of internal tracking system by using 125 employees, resulting in 15 plus new features and reduction of 20% of load time and 50% of operational time. So these are something very, very, very important. That is the metric related to the activities. So here, 20% reduction of 20% of load time. That is, your data analytical process was successful. It reduced 20% of the load time and 15% of the operational time. Here, it increased double the engagement and 30% dropouts. That is, reduced 30% dropouts. And this has led to a 30% increase. So what I mentioned is that this is very important when you are writing achievements in your experience field. So metric is something very important. Now we go to the third one, that is education data frame. That is the third one that you are going to write. So here, what you are going to write is that you are just writing, because if you have a lot of experiences, then we will not be able, this should be kept precise. You have to only mention about the education, the last educational institution will be sufficient. There is no need to write from your school days. Because if you are an experienced person, you have got a lot to add in your experienced area, so you can make this education intact. And if you are a fresher, you may not be having that much to write in your experience. And for that, you have undergone a course, so you people will be having a lot to write in the experience segments. And in the education data frame, what you could write is that your academic project should be highlighted here. Your academic projects, here you have done 2 projects there. So project title and a project description, the tool used. That could be an ideal way of writing that academic project. Then project title, descriptions, and technologies used, because this may not be directly related to the industry, but the training that you are doing as a part of the internship through IPSR is just going into the heart of the industry. But here it may not be that much relevant to that industry. So you can put it in this way: job title, description, and the technology used. So they may be only looking at the technology used, Java, like this, MySQL, PHP, all these things only they will be looking at. And obviously, they may be looking where you have done your BTech course or your this MCA courses like that. So your education here, this from Gurudev Institute of Science and Technology, and that is the college, and also their trade, that BTech in mechanical engineering, as well as the period of study, and also you can include the 10th and 12th pass out, all these details. So this is how you can customize your this education frame. So I think now you will be clear about how to customize your personal data frame, how to customize your experienced these data details, how to customize the educational details. Now, something more important is your skill and certification frame. That is what you find in the left-hand side, a vertical column that we see in the resume according to our template. There is no particular that you put it in left side. You can arrange it in right side, whatever it may be, that which is been showcased in the left vertical column. So in the first part of the column, you can write the professional skills. So I've just written a number of these technologies only. Before you were writing data analysis, all these things you are just written, but here you are highlighting the technology as well as to what extent that you are capable of performing. That is the metric. The metric is something very important. What level? Maybe you will be you will be a beginner, so you can only have some 50% or even less. And if it is that less, there is no need to highlight it. So Python, you are having about 90% level. R programming, R language, 60%. Tableau, this is very, very important because Tableau and Power BI are very commonly used in data analytics. Excel, that Tableau and Power BI is very, very important for these analytical jobs. And recruiters specifically may this invite these applications showcasing these skill sets. So to what extent Tableau 50% or this Power BI, likewise you can present it in this way of writing it. There is no need to, you can alter it. There is no compulsory that you should present your, this is actually a slider. You are just using a slider, 90%, 60% likewise, slider wise, or you can showcase it any of these way. You can write it in skill metric like this, just like Tableau, this much, 50%, Google Data Studio, about 75%, like this quarter. That is Tableau. You have got only very little knowledge in Tableau. Power BI, you are pretty comfortable. And Google Data Studio, that is, you are much confident about that. So you can have this way of representing, or if you want have a different, this is same thing like this, you are giving a 5-point scale from low 1 to 5 high, Tableau 2, Power BI 3, likewise you can include. And this is the way of customizing it by means of color. That is that you may be familiar with heat map and all. So their low will be, this will be presented in a gradient way, in a blue gradient. This is low and this is high, and you can just put it this own way. So all these things is what is your interest and how you feel better. So this is how you can put your skill sets into. And obviously, you can also include the certifications that you have taken below that in the frame, that you have. I've shown you. You can put below the skills, professional skills. You can mention what are the different certifications that you have taken. In connection with this job role, the different certifications, together with the certifications, you can mention the certificate ID, and also you can mention the URL from where that credentials could be validated. So that could be presented below that, below the your professional skills. And the last one is the additional information that you would like to add. So in this, you will be, you can include, you can include the languages known, then your interest, then any types of services, some voluntary services that you will be engaged in, or some achievements, some awards and recognitions and references. So these are the things that you could add in your other informations. So language is known. It will be better that you can mention that language, the English, then your regional language, Malayalam, Tamil, Hindi, or likewise you can mention your the different interest that you, if you, it is not compulsory. If you want, if you are this resume is shallow, then you can should make it one page, so you can populate in with that. And if it is already very heavy, there is no need to mention all these things. Interest and all is secondary only, because if you are in IPSR, definitely you will be having a huge quantity to be filled in your experience data frame, where you will be populating with a number of these projects that you have done. And any types of services that you've done, any types of achievements or awards, that is your achievements and awards in the school level or at the college level, any specific award that you have got, and if that award is is worthy mentioning in this job role, that could be included. And if you're particularly, you can include the persons of references there. So these are the different informations that you can put into your resume. So I think now we have done with the resume preparation. You can see this frame here, personal frame, and here you can see this is the experience frame, and this is what your educational frame, where you have put on the academic project. This is your professional skills. The professional skills are written in this way. I've shown you the presentation here. The certifications. This is what I didn't include it in the slide. Your certifications, you can put it like this. This is the certification course on data analysis. Certification course on data analysis. You can mention that course name and what are the skills that is included. And if you have taken some certifications from Coursera or any other, you can mention that Coursera and name of the certifications, and also the certificate ID and URL also could be mentioned here. So likewise, you can mention the certifications, your achievements, 3 hackathon. Contest, likewise, then coding challenge, your achievements are written here, then language is known is presented here. So this is how you can present an ideal resume. So you can just look at this resume. It is not contested. It is in one page, isn't it? It is in one page. There is proper these subtitles are there. So and it is populated with the keywords, so that the recruiter can very easily identify your skill sets. And this is some. So this is the this 5-part framework for preparing a concise resume. I think now you have an idea on how to prepare a resume. I'm confident that if you have this much of an idea, you can develop a good resume according to your job requirement. So I just repeat, it is always better to create a unique resume, a customized resume for each job roles. And if you are relevant with this, with a small research, you can customize it to make it a job fit. So be good, then they can't ignore you. So let that resume speaks that you are good, that they can't. That is, they can't ignore you. You will get a call. So thank you.